the possible passage of new restrictions on firearms, and the return of military veterans facing significant challenges reintegrating into their communities could lead to the potential emergence of terrorist groups or lone wolf extremists capable of carrying out violent attacks. Military veterans, people who just served their country, are now a potential risk of being used to attack the United States government. This is ridiculous. Now, it's bad enough that our servicemen and women are pretty much shit on it every turn, as it is already. But now, the fact that they're coming home and may be a little disillusioned, some of them, at what they were doing for the last 8 years over in the Middle East, now that they're disillusioned and they may have a different outlook, they're potential threats to the United States government, that's a fucking insult. That right there is an insult to every person who serves in the United States military, labeling them as a potential right-wing extremist simply because they're coming back home. And, according to our government, may be influenced. I think, if anything, the servicemen and women would be the one doing the influencing, seeing as how they experienced what happened over there firsthand. They'd be the ones whose opinion would matter more than somebody who's been sitting over here not doing much of anything. Alright. Okay, I had to do a little cut there for a second because I had to look for this next point I was going to bring up. And then I'm going to move right on to something else here. This is entitled Perceived Threat from Rise of Other Countries. Right, according to the Department of Homeland Security, right-wing extremist paranoia of foreign regimes could escalate or be magnified in the event of an economic crisis or military confrontation, hearkening back to the New World Order conspiracy theories of the 1990s. The disillusion of communist countries in Eastern Europe and at the end of the Soviet Union in the 1990s led some right-wing extremists to believe that a New World Order would bring about a world government that would usurp the sovereignty of the United States and its Constitution, thus infringing upon their liberty. Now, to that, I'm going to play you a very short video clip that I prepared for this right here to illustrate exactly who it is that needs to be focused, where the attention needs to be focused, who the people are that really need to be paid attention to when it comes to these New World Order here's in quotations, and to these people who talk about the New World Order. So let's go ahead and we'll go right to that. All right.
Coming into view, a world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
After 1989, President Bush said, and it's a phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
All these new challenges are bringing together about the biggest restructuring we have ever seen, not just of the global economy, but of the global order as a whole. And people talked then, in 1990, of a new world order. What they actually meant then was a new political order. And what was not foreseen then, but is obvious now from everything that we see and do, what we experience in every day of our life, is the sheer scale and speed and scope of globalization. And it's only now that we can begin to understand that the world order that globalization brings and what it's going to look like, it's driven forward now not just by the balance of military strength, the Cold War times, or ordinary political power. It's being driven forward by a seismic shift in economic power that we see around us.
Are we at one of those moments in history in which there is the necessity for a new world order? A, because of what's taken place in the Middle East, the rise of different kinds of groups, and B, what's happened in Asia, meaning that there has been a shift from the West to the East.
There's a need for a new world order.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations
a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
All right, so let me get this straight. If you, me, or anybody else brings up the suggestion of a new world order, we'll be labeled as right-wing extremists and potential terrorists, according to the Department of Homeland Security. But if active participants in the New World Order acknowledge the existence of a New World Order, they get elected into office.